Hello everybody, I'm Doug. Welcome to the Auditory Vinyl. This is take 2. I got about halfway through and realized that somewhere along the way it stopped recording. And now my camera's all right, good enough. Anyway, this is another episode in Record Labels A to Z. This is episode L. So to start things off, Lifesong Records started in 1975 by Terry Cashman and Tommy West. There were a couple recording artists that decided to start their own label. There is another label of the same name. It's a Christian label that came out about the same time when the whole Jesus movement was going on in the 70s, and there was quite a few artists making Christian music then. But this one, the big name was Jim Croce. He was on there pretty much his whole short career. Also Crack the Sky and Henry Gross, who had the big hit Shannon, which is on this album. And here is that Lifesong label. And then pretty much when Jim Croce died, the label died with it. They ended up folding in 83. So that was it for them. Lorry Records. My stuff's all messed up from the previous attempt at the video. Lorry Records was started in 1958 in New York City. Dion had a lot of his early hits were on there, Run Around Sue and The Wanderer. Also the Chiffons with He's So Fine and One Fine Day. And then in the 60s and 70s they had some more hits with Jerry and the Pacemakers, Bobby Goldsboro. And here is that Lorry label. This is Dion's greatest hits from 62. Mono version. They had another variant of the label that looked more like that there was on the label. In the 80s they changed their name to 3C, and it was ended up being owned by Capitol. Lennox, found not very much information on this. There is another Lennox, or there was. It's a French record label that actually did American rockabilly stuff. But this one was started in 62 by Leland Rogers from New York. Had the Genies, Little Esther Phillips, Clint Miller. This is a 62 mono release from her. And there's the Lennox label. And again, not much more information on them. See, all my stuff is all messed up. Little David Records, started by Flip Wilson in 1969 to try to get more comedians on record labels. He also did a little bit of jazz and some folk stuff, which Kenny Rankin was on there. Kind of folk, soft rock stuff. And there is the Little David label. It was actually named after Flip Wilson's son, David. In the 70s, George Carlin was on the label, had some pretty big albums then. But then by the end of the 70s, it died off, and they They were done by '79. Liberty Records, you've all seen that and heard a ton about them. But they were started in 1959 by Simon Waronker. And right off the bat, he signed his girlfriend, Julie London. Excuse me. And she had some hits right away. Then in '56, he got Henry Mancini, who, you know, he had a ton of great albums too. And then Ross Bagdasarian, he had a few singles, but they really didn't do anything. He changed his name to David Seville, and he had a couple small hits, '56 and '57. But then he decided to change the speed of the tape to make his voice sound funny, and the Chipmunks were born, and he had a huge hit with the Chipmunk song on the Liberty label. The Chipmunks, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, are all named after executives of the Liberty label, Simon being the guy that started it. Also Eddie Cochran, Willie Nelson, Bobby V, Vicky Carr, Jan and Dean, ton of people at one point or another were on Liberty Records. And then they ended up being owned by EMI and Capitol. They were brought back for a little spell in the '90s, and the label just had, I think it was just the head of the Statue of Liberty. But then that kind of died off too. I had one other one that I found absolutely no information on. It's from Jan and Dean and the Soul Surfers from '63. There's no information on here. There's no like address, no logo, nothing. And here is the label, and just at the very top you can just see LJ, and again there's no information, nothing, just basically the songs. And I couldn't find anything on LJ. There's nothing in the run out other than, you know, the number, the catalog number. So I don't know if anybody else has seen this or any information. Be interested to hear what you come up with. But that's it for the letter L in this series. So enjoy your day and enjoy the music.